John Scofield is really one of my favorite musicians. I mean, in general, just on the planet. You know, there's a couple other guitar players that really, Bill Frisell is another one, and of course Pat Metheny, that are just, and another, well, a bunch of friends of mine, different friends, but also people like George Benson, of course, amazing player in general, and the list goes on, who are just musically, it's not just about the guitar, it's about the way they write, or in George Benson's case, the way he sings and plays. But John really has a special voice, of course, and amazingly creative in finding and kind of courageous in doing different things, no matter what. He can find a niche, and then he's kind of eclectic, of course, and then wants to do different stuff. So he does stuff that is funky, of course, and then some stuff that's more straight ahead swinging jazz, and it's all from the heart, and it's all beautiful, and he writes beautifully, and he's a great guy too. I had the opportunity to play with his band, with Ben Street was playing bass and Bill Stewart was playing drums, and it was something that Kurt Rosenwinkel originally was going to do, and then he had a conflict. So I saw John, I was touring with my band, and we ended up, and he was doing some other project in Germany, and we ended up taking the same flight home. And then John called me the next day and he said, "Man, since we saw each other, were you interested in doing this tour with me?" And it was like a couple weeks left in the States, and of his tour that Kurt couldn't make, and so I did it with him, and it was a ball, man. It was a ball. And of course we played together with Miles Davis, and before that we played in a band with Peter Warren, and the two guitars, and Peter Warren was the bass player that was playing with Jack DeJohnette at the time. So John's really, really special cat, and I love him, and I love his music. I started with Miles.
Oh, yeah.
Bill Evans actually got me the gig. There was another great guitar player that was doing the gig and was on the first record, but the last track of the first record was something I did called Fat Time. It was called a tune called Fat Time. And Bill Evans got me with the gig with Miles. And John joined after a couple of years. I was having my difficulties with a whole lot of drinking and a whole lot of everything else, and so John, Miles said, "You better get John." So I John joined the band, and I dug it, man. I mean, I dug it. At first, I thought, I might have blown the gig, But Miles kept us both for a while. I was still carrying on like crazy. I was still drinking, and Miles was trying to cool his stuff out and trying to get sober at the time, and I wasn't helping because I was going the other direction. So finally, he just used Sco for a while, and that was, of course, great. And but it was really fun to play with John together, And then after a while, John left, and then I joined again. And Miles called me back for another 6 or 8 months, something like that. We played some more gigs, and then there was time for me to do something else at that point. I started a band with Bob Berg, and great tenor player that played with Sco also on some occasions. And it's all kind of connected with a whole bunch of different people that have common. There's a whole lot of common ground with a bunch of musicians that know each other and that played together in some place or another kind of. But anyway, it's really a special thing for Sco. We were both going to Berkeley when I was aware of him. He didn't know me that well, but we used to go to gigs that he was playing, and I went, wow, he's playing his ass off, So, and then we ended up playing together in these situations, and then with his band, and that was a ball. So, hopefully we'll do it some more, but he's tearing it up. He's doing great, really great.